Welcome back to my writing channel. My name is Josie and we are in an extremely exciting location right now. We are in Lisbon, Portugal. I mean, maybe my background isn't that exciting, but the city is fantastic. We have spent our first full day here and it's been great. We went and saw a castle where there were like peacocks running around, apparently not native to Portugal. I think they were like brought in for the rich people back in the day. We also went to a monastery and got to tour the cloisters. We got to try a whole bunch of new foods. We went swimming. We saw a bunch of other really cool monuments. Like you can go thinking, oh, I'm just gonna go down the street to this place. And then on the way you see so many cool stuff. It's like pretty incredible, but we're not staying here for very long. We're actually going to be leaving tomorrow because we've got our bikes. We had to pack them up in a box and we've started to put them together because we are going to be biking, following basically the north coast of the Mediterranean for just over 2 months. Yeah. So for 2 months, we're going to be mostly camping, staying when we're in like bigger cities and maybe like a hostel or like this kind of a room. But otherwise, yeah, we're just gonna be in nature, be seeing beautiful things, eating beautiful things. And another big goal of mine is to also get some writing done. I don't know how much I can get done. Typically in the past, so I've written 5 thrillers now in the past 5 years, and all of those books, I've written the first draft in November. I've been part of that like 50K words in November competition every year, and I've really found it a great way to like jumpstart and really get through that first draft because it's the hardest for me. But unfortunately, I don't think be able to do that this year. Like the idea of writing, whatever it is, 1,600 words every day in the month of November while also trying to bike anywhere from 50 to 100 kilometers, that's not possible. But what would be great is just trying to get a little bit of writing done every day or every other day. So things have to change a little bit too, because even though I write on my laptop, I couldn't bring it on this trip because 1, it was maybe a little bit heavier, but 2, it was definitely going to break with just how much stuff we're throwing around all the time. So instead, I brought a tablet. So I've been struggling with for like the last couple of months trying to make it work because I wanted it for this specific purpose to bring on this trip. And I actually have a connecting keyboard for it. And the keyboard has been working, but it only works when I write on flat surfaces. So that may be a struggle if these camping situations don't have like a picnic table. That's a problem for another day. I'm not gonna worry about it right now. The thing I'm most kind of disappointed about is that I have been enjoying doing my first drafts in a program called Scrivener. It's just a writing program that you pay for one time. And I've been doing it on my laptop, but they don't have an app for a non-Apple product iPad. So on the tablet, it's not gonna work, unfortunately. So I'm resorting back to Word, which is fine. But honestly, Scrivener would have been the best in this situation because you can split out the chapters and it's a lot easier to keep like reorganizing stuff, whereas a Word document is just a running list or a running document. It's a little bit annoying because I have 3 point of view characters. So depending what character I'm writing from and trying to keep track of what's going on, it's gonna be a lot harder in Word, but we're just gonna have to deal with it. So there's gonna definitely be a bit of a learning curve with trying to adapt to this new way of writing. When I combined all of the random pieces I'd written from like the first chapter, second chapter, third chapter, I think was all there was, I hit around 11,000 words. And then actually on the flight here on one of them, it took 3 flights to get here, we had 2 layovers. I feel like we were traveling for probably like 30 hours, but it's probably also our fault because we're cheap. We went for the cheapest flights of what we could possibly get. But I managed to hit 12,000 words in the draft before landing. So that's kind of where we're starting at. I really don't know how long this book is going to be because when I've been writing these like standalone thrillers, they tend to be between 70 and 100,000 words. So I think each arc is going to be a little bit less than that, but even if I write 50,000 words for each of the point of views, that's still 150. So I have no expectations for how long this is going to be. We're just going to chip away at it, and this is seriously just like a see what happens kind of a ordeal. But I can't wait to be writing this epic fantasy while in Europe, because even just touring some of the sites we saw today, I was getting little ideas for things that I wanted to include with world building. Not really as much character, but with all the biking we're doing, hopefully I'll have a lot of time to think things through. I'll see beautiful things that'll inspire settings. It just seems like such a great time to write, because being outdoors and doing activity like that and writing are like two of my favorite things. So I feel like for the next 2 months, I get to be extremely selfish and do the things I want to do and kind of block out the rest of the world, because I have been wanting to do this bike trip for so long. I had intended originally with my dad and my brother to bike the North Sea in Europe, so start in Norway and like follow that coastline all the way down to I think France, and then taking a ferry over to the UK and then up to Scotland and kind of doing that loop. But we were gonna do it the summer after I finished my bachelor's degree, and we had bought our plane tickets, we were ready to go. But unfortunately, that was summer 2020, so it did not work out. And I have been waiting the last 5 years, saving up money, and I'm so excited to finally be doing this. We're doing the Mediterranean instead. I really want to do the North Sea at some point, but we're going to be going into like middle to late November, and I feel like, Italy is going to be a lot easier to bike through at that time than the UK. So this is what we're going with for now, but doing the Mediterranean is definitely not a bad trip to do either. Though I have to say, we got here and it was so hot. We arrived around midnight last night, and we walked into this room. We're on like the top floor, and it was boiling. Like, it's hotter in this room than the hallway outside. It's hotter in this room than outside. Even today, I think it got up to like 30 degrees Celsius, apparently, I think is what my phone said, which to me is extremely hot, having lived in Alaska for the last 5 years. But it'll be okay. I think it's starting to cool off in the next couple of days, so hopefully things will go well biking wise and I won't overheat and die. That's the plan. We're going to be biking almost every day, probably starting off with lower distances and building up over time, stopping potentially like once a week, or maybe when we hit bigger cities, to take a day off and also look around and enjoy the place that we're in. And at the same time, getting some writing in. I don't know exactly how it's gonna fit, whether I'll get some in the morning done before we hit the road or maybe in the evenings. We'll see. I really don't have a lot of expectations, to be honest. We booked our flights here and we booked flights back at the end of our journey. And honestly, we didn't do a lot in between. Like, we know vaguely the route we're gonna take, but we booked the 2 nights here in Lisbon just so we'd have this middle day to kind of get everything sorted in case like the bikes didn't arrive or something. But like, we don't really know where we're staying tomorrow night or the night after. We don't know when we're gonna reach Spain. We don't know when we're gonna reach France. So it's kind of exciting and also a little terrifying at the same time, but it's all part of the fun. So yeah, I'll see you next week when hopefully we are hitting the road and we're gonna get some writing done. It's gonna be incredibly beautiful and I cannot wait.